Going to continue with our study of our Unit 8, Structure and Function within Living Systems, basically cells and genetics, with Lesson 4, Organelles and Organ Systems. We have discussed cell theory and function. So now we're going to move on to those organelles and organ systems. Here's our warm-up, which you'll answer in the Zoom chat box. Plants use energy from sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to produce sugar. Which structure is found only in plant cells and helps plants capture energy from the sun? I'll pause for you to answer. If you answered C, chloroplast, you are correct. Our goal for today, you should be able to compare the functions of cell organelles to the functions of an organ system. And our question, how are the organelles in a cell similar to the organs in a human body? And this, of course, is our standard. And here are our vocabulary words that will be bolded. Organelles, organ system, tissue, cytoskeleton, cytoplasm, musculoskeletal system, cell membrane, cell, integumentary system, mitochondria, digestive system, lysosomes, vacuole, excretory system, nucleus, and nervous system. All right, so we will compare the functions of cell organelles to the functions of an organ system. That is our overall goal here. Organelles are membrane-bound cell parts that are very small in size and can only be observed under a microscope. They have specific functions and are found throughout the cytoplasm. We discussed this in the last lesson, if you'll remember, and you've even identified parts of an animal cell and a plant cell. An organ system is a group of organs and tissues that work together to carry out a particular set of functions in a coordinated manner. And we're going to start out with an Amoeba Sisters Human Body Systems video.
Have you ever heard the phrase, "I know this like the back of my hand"? Well, it might make you question, do you really know the back of your hand? Because if you really look at your hand, you see your skin, but it's also what you can't see underneath that's pretty incredible. You can't see the millions of cells that make up your hand, at least not without a microscope. We take these cells for granted sometimes, but your body is made up of millions of cells. Cells that work together, cells that are very organized with specific functions, cells that carry your whole DNA code, but use specific parts of your DNA code depending on the cell's function. Your cells make up body tissues. Tissues make up organs, like your heart, for example. And organs are part of an organ system, like your circulatory system. Organ systems are so important for you to understand in order to know how your body works. And one thing to keep in mind is that organ systems, they don't work in isolation. They are not loners. No, they work together and they're part of a big team. So we're going to intro the 11 major organ systems. Now, keep in mind, this is just a quick intro, so we're doing the bare bones, no pun intended, of the systems. And because they are all important, it's kind of hard to know where to start. So we're going to go in alphabetical order because we don't want you to think that one system is way more important than another. First, the circulatory system. You think of blood, and you should, because blood carries gases like oxygen, which your body needs, and helps remove carbon dioxide, which your body needs to expel. Your blood also transports nutrients that your body needs. Your heart is included in the system. It's a pumping machine that transports the blood around. Arteries are vessels that typically carry blood away from the heart. Think A for away. And veins typically carry blood back to the heart. And capillaries are tiny blood vessels throughout your body. Did you ever hear this rumor that your blood is blue and then turns red when it reaches oxygen? Well, guess what? That's not really true. Your blood is red. It's always red, even inside your body, though the shade of red can vary slightly due to the amount of oxygen present. Veins may appear blue or even green to you through the skin, but it's actually related to the wavelengths of light, so to the Google for that. Okay, number 2, the digestive system. It's important for breaking down and absorbing food for your body to get nutrients. Digestion actually starts in the mouth. You have some awesome enzymes in your saliva that get this process going. Your stomach contains acid, which furthers this process along. Your small intestine does most of the absorption of nutrients, and your large intestine has to reabsorb a lot of the water from this process. And just to note, there are a lot of accessory organs also involved in this fascinating process. Third, the endocrine system. You know how you're bigger than you were when you were 6 years old? Unless you are 6 years old. Growth hormone is a hormone that's made a big impact on you. Or another example, notice how your heart starts to race when you have a big test that maybe you haven't studied for. Well, that's another hormone, adrenaline. The endocrine system includes many glands that secrete hormones like those examples. Another system that starts with E is number 4, the excretory system. I like to think exit for excretory because this system is all about excreting waste. And I'm not talking about feces because that's still the digestive system. More like urine. This system involves your kidneys, which are in your lower back. The kidneys assist in removing waste from the blood. And you know they're important because anyone with impaired kidneys may need to go on a machine called dialysis to replace that function. The excretory system also includes other ways of removing waste, such as sweating. Okay, number 5, the integumentary system. This long, fancy word, it's appropriate for your largest organ, your skin. Your skin helps protect your organs from outside damage. It helps with temperature regulation and from losing precious water. Number 6, the lymphatic/immune system. Has anyone ever checked your lymph nodes on your neck when you feel sick? Well, you have many lymph nodes, and they tend to swell during some illnesses. See, lymph is this clear fluid from blood plasma. It surrounds your cells, and this system collects, filters, and returns the lymph to blood, and the major role is to help with immune function. This keeps your body safe against pathogens like viruses and bacteria. Structures like lymph nodes, the thymus, spleen, tonsils, and bone marrow, they all play a significant role in your immune system. Okay, so now we're more than halfway done with our intro, so hang in there. Number 7, the muscular system. No bones about it. Your bones can't do much without muscle to move them. You actually have 3 major types of muscle tissue, known as skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscle. Number 8, the nervous system. Your body would be a nervous wreck without something to coordinate it. That always helps me remember it. The nervous system includes your brain and your spinal cord. It controls voluntary actions. That's what you can control, like picking up a pencil. And involuntary actions, the ones you can't control, such as reflexes. At the cellular level, the nervous system uses cells known as neurons. With their amazing structure, these cells are kind of the cool cells on the block. Number 9, the reproductive system. Like it sounds, this system includes reproductive organs. The major function here is that it allows for animals to reproduce. So think babies. Number 10, the respiratory system. This involves the lungs, and this system involves the intake of oxygen into the body and exhaling carbon dioxide from the body. Remember that your cells need this oxygen, and they need to get rid of carbon dioxide in order to function correctly. Number 11, the skeletal system. Bones. Adults have 206 bones, and you had more at birth, but some bones, they fuse together, and these bones support you, they protect your organs, think rib cage, and they even produce blood cells from the bone marrow that's inside the bone. Understanding how the human body works is fascinating, and it's necessary so that we can figure out what to do when things go wrong. There are doctors that specialize specifically with each of these systems. But the most amazing part to us is their beauty and how they work together. working every second to let you do the things that you do. Want an example? Well, let's say that when the bell rings at the end of the day, you're going to race your friend down the hall. Think of all the body systems interacting for that to happen. Your respiratory system is going to increase its breathing rate, and that extra oxygen is going to be delivered throughout the circulatory system to your body tissues. Your muscles are interacting with the skeletal system for movement. These are just some interactions of the systems working together for that one example. The human body is just truly a magnificent masterpiece. Well, that's it for the Amoeba Sisters, and we remind you to stay curious.
All right, so hopefully that gives you a quick little intro as to what this lesson will be about. So let's start out with organelles. The cytoskeleton is made of microtubules. They're found throughout the cytoplasm, and they give shape to cells and moves the organelles around inside. An organ system, that would be like the musculoskeletal system. That is the body's central framework. So the cytoskeleton and the musculoskeleton system both provide structure, and it allows for movement. Okay, so a cell membrane to the integumentary system. The cell membrane controls the movement of materials into and out of the cell, and it's selectively permeable. That's the organelle. And the organ system, of course, is the integumentary system. That's the set of organs forming the outermost layer of an animal's body and includes the skin. So just like the video said, it's this fancy word that basically means your skin. So the cell membrane is like the integumentary system because they both separate and protect the internal structures from the external environment, and also they regulate water loss. Okay, let's compare mitochondria to the digestive system. So mitochondria, of course, we know is the powerhouse. It generates most of the chemical energy needed to power the cell's biochemical reactions. And the digestive system includes the mouth, the throat, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and anus. It also includes the salivary glands, the liver, the gallbladder, pancreas. Then the pancreas makes digestive juices and enzymes that help the body to digest food and liquids. So the mitochondria is like the digestive system because they both break down nutrients to produce energy. Okay, and this shows you that comparison of the mitochondria to the digestive system, what they do, and they break things down. So quick learning check. You're going to type this answer in the Zoom chat box. So what is like the digestive system? Because they both break down food to release energy. And I'll pause for you to think. If you chose D, mitochondria, you would be correct. Okay, let's compare a lysosome and vacuole to the excretory system. So the lysosomes, if you'll remember, are sacs filled with digestive enzymes. They digest food absorbed by the cell and digest worn out cell parts. The vacuole is the large sac that contains cell sap. It's different from cytoplasm. It stores sugars, proteins, minerals, waste, and pigments. And then our excretory system regulates the chemical composition of bodily fluids by removing waste products and retaining the proper amounts of water and nutrients. So the lysosome and vacuoles are similar to the excretory system because they all store waste and they remove waste. We would be in trouble if this didn't occur. For instance, that's when I was very sick with the kidney stones. That's what had happened to me. Basically, my kidneys were blocked, and that's why they had to go in and put in stents because the stone was completely blocking my right kidney. and had started to move in my left, and it had backed up, and all that bacteria that was in there, everything had gotten infected. So wasn't a good situation. So here you have the kidneys. So my kidneys were blocked, especially my right kidney. So none of that waste could get out and go to my bladder. So they had to put stents in both my right and left kidneys to allow them to drain until the um, medicine the antibiotics could clear up the infection. Because if they had gone in and tried to remove the kidney stones with all the infection, that could have and spread that infection to my blood and would have caused something called sepsis, which can be life threatening. I mean, it's basically when your blood gets infected. So, all right, let's compare the nucleus to the nervous system. So, the nucleus we know is the membrane bound sac that's evolved to store the cell's chromosomes, so DNA. It controls the normal activities of the cells, like the brain. And then the nervous system is the center of all mental activity and is the major control system in our bodies. So the nucleus is similar to the nervous system because it provides instructions for the function of the system. And here you have the nucleus compared to the nervous system. And you can see our nervous system, it just runs all throughout our body. We wouldn't be able to feel anything without it. The nucleus controls that cell. So in summary, how are the organelles in a cell similar to the organs in a human body? Well, like organs in an organism such as us, each organelle has a specific function in a cell. It does something specific to where it is. All of the organelles work together to perform their specific function so that the cell can perform as a whole, just as organ systems work together for an organism. And here's a short summary video.
If you could take a look inside this person riding the skateboard, you would see an amazing team of different body systems working together. Welcome to Moo Math and Science and 11 Body Systems. There are at least 11 body systems that work together to help keep the human body alive. Up first, the integumentary system. It consists of our skin. Our skin is the largest organ of the body. It acts as a barrier which protects us from the outside world, helps prevent water loss, and regulates our temperature, along with allows us to touch our surroundings. The skeletal system is made up of our bones, ligaments which attach bone to bone, tendons which attach muscle to bone, and our joints. The skeletal system helps with movement and protection. The muscular system is responsible for movement inside and out of the body. There are three major types of muscles: skeletal muscles, which are muscles attached to bones; smooth muscles, which are involuntary muscles found inside the stomach, the intestines, and several other places; and cardiac muscle, which are muscles of the heart. The urinary system filters blood through the kidneys, where it works to filter out waste and produces urine. The function of the respiratory system is to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide between the atmosphere and the blood. The lungs are a major organ of this system. The digestive system breaks down food so nutrients can be absorbed by the body. It has three main functions: ingest food, break food down so that nutrients can be absorbed, and eliminate what can't be digested. The endocrine system sends chemical messages throughout the body. This system is composed of glands that produce hormones that act as chemical messengers of the body. For example, adrenaline is a hormone that causes you to have a sudden burst of energy. The reproductive system is responsible for producing offspring. The lymphatic system includes organs and cells that filter lymph and blood and destroy foreign microorganisms. Lymph is the fluid that leaks out of the capillaries. This fluid circulates among the tissue cells and is collected by lymphatic vessels and returned to the veins. The nervous system sends electrical signals throughout your body. These signals may cause your arm to move or your heart to beat. This system is composed of two major divisions: the central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, which consists of the nerves that branch out from the brain and the spinal cord. The circulatory system pumps blood throughout your body. It consists of your heart, veins that carry blood to the heart, arteries that carry blood away from the heart, and capillaries, which connect the veins and the arteries. Thanks for watching, and remember, kindness multiplies kindness. Be kind to someone today. If you could take a
All right, for our exit ticket. The brain is part of the nervous system. Which of these completes the analogy? Brain is to the nervous system as blank is to blank. Type your answer in the Zoom chat box. If you chose A, nucleus and cell, you are correct. So brain is to the nervous system as nucleus is to cell. All right. This concludes lesson 8.4, and I will let you know what we're doing next.